6-2 Peter Parker, 7-5 Detroit, 8-9 Swift, 9-0-4-1 Savage, 9-3-4 Sirius Whack, and 9-9-9 Bet.
Lovely. So it is my pleasure to bring you Who Dares Windsor in the white this morning, and we have 1-0 Tash Bandicoot, 1-1-2 Fletcher, 1-1-8 is Naz T, 2-1-2 Lovelock, number 13 is Head Casey, 20 Culverhouse, 2-2-2 Riley Cyrus, 2-2-5 Asterix, 25 is Jamelia, 40 Hips and Gravy, 67 Lapetis, yeah, I'll go with that. Apologies if that's not quite correct. Number 88 is Frost, number 9 Rosie Rocket Pants, and number 91 Timney, and that is your Who Dares Windsor in the white with the blue accented sections.
Our officials for today, we've got our skating officials, our referees, McFarlane, Trey Krull, Saz, Cat's Eyes, Frodo Budding, Stewie, Sven, and Knights of Knee. We've also got our non-skating officials, Serotonin, Ace Scrimmer, Cluster Schmuck, Fatal Attraction, Leviathan, Brain of Terror, Pancake, Annika Vice, Gaston, Restless Bitchface, and Ginger Snaps.
So this is the third, fourth place game today. So both of these teams lost a game yesterday, if you were joining us for the action. We had London, who lost out in a nail-biter of an amazing game to Norfolk. Quite a bit of an upset there, Panda.
Yeah.
And then we also had Windsor, who lost out to Rebellion, I believe it was. Big score for Rebellion against Windsor. So Rebellion and Norfolk are playing in the final this afternoon. So yeah, this is the third, fourth place here at 11:30 a.m.
So we are Tier 2 West on track, and it looks like everybody is almost ready to go. Just a few seconds left on the clock.
As you know, if you were watching yesterday, we have pretty much the same view as you folks at home. So we can't see the backs of the jammers either. So we will bring that information to you once we've learned all the jammers' names.
So on the scoreboard, we can see we've got Van Hustling jamming for Battersea Power and Fletcher for Who Dares Windsor.
Both jammers, coming up against beautiful tripodial work from the defense of their respective enemies.
Van Hustling recycled now right the way back to the rear of the pack, but it's Fletcher also recycling toward the back of the pack. This pack hasn't moved very far at all just now.
It hasn't, and we are already 30 seconds into this first jam. Fletcher took the star off, put the star back on. Pivot came back, I think, maybe to offer a bit of a star option. But Fletcher is through.
Not lead jammer, hasn't been assessed, so she mustn't have managed to pass everybody there. But it was no pass, no penalty, but lead jammer is not warded then. So that's still open for Van Hustling, provided they can get out the front of the pack legally. There we go, and that is lead assessed, as we are a whole minute into the jam already.
So yeah, Van Hustling is now in charge of this jam. Fletcher has, I believe, already got through to grab some points.
Yeah.
Might be incorrect there. Yeah, scoreboard is showing 4. Nice opening jam there for Windsor, 4-0.
So London Roller Girls not managing to put anything on the board just yet. First jam was a little bit fussy at the start.
Yeah, pretty common for the first jams of the game to not necessarily be reflective of what we're going to see for the next 58 minutes. That's
true. You generally tend to find that the games start off a little bit slowly as the teams are starting to feel each other out and trying to find the rhythm and just figure out what kind of tactics they're employing. We should see this picking up quite quickly, I think. Yeah, yesterday we did see quite a few lead changes, quite a few upsets, runs of 0 points and things like that. So as we have got Strayham and Head Casey jamming for their respective pink and white teams, we are still yet to get a lead. And of course, as I say that, Strayham is awarded lead, so it's 1 apiece Windsor and London Roller Girls. Oh, nearly made a little faux pas there. No one noticed. Not at all. Don't know what you're talking about. Battersea Power with control of this jam. And Head Casey recycling back now. The pack hardly even moves past turn 2 yet, but spreading very thinly out of the front there. The out of play warning goes up from referees in the middle. And a 5-point pass on the board there for London Roller Girls, now taking the lead.
Beautiful, sorry, I was just adjusting my microphone. Beautiful defense here from Windsor. Beautiful defense from London, I think maybe this is the jam that shows us the type of game that we're going to be seeing. Very tight, very kind of similar tactics being deployed.
Yeah, a lot of recycling toward the infield so far. Head Casey's had a really tough time. The pack's not necessarily moving very fast or very far, which shows defensively they're doing a really good job. Strong walls from both of the teams. Head Casey's struggling to stay on her feet there. Trying desperately to find as Lovelock comes in, breaks up that wall to create a bit of a gap. Head Casey's still not having any luck there.
Big kerfuffle, shall we say, at the front of the pack there.
So no pack called and Strahan through for 5 points, which extends London's lead.
Yeah, 10-4 currently, 26 minutes in this first half to go. Nice. I mean, it is only jam 2, but quite a clean game.
It is, so far. I mean, we had a few games yesterday where there was just penalties dotted all over the place. But these are teams that have got a lot of good experience under their belt. Yesterday, Royal Windsor had, they were in and out of the box quite consistently.
Yeah, they were.
So I think they'll be definitely looking at how that affects their gameplay today. London Roller Girls, they've got the advantage of being around for pretty much ever.
Yeah,
they know.
Does anyone remember life before LRG? It didn't exist.
No, not at all. So Savage and Asterix jamming even. Savage looking for a break up at the front there in pink, but struggling to find it. Some great walls there from Royal Windsor. Nicely done down the inside though, picking up lead jammer.
Wonderful work there from Windsor, really holding Savage off for as long as they could, but Savage's hips were just too strong and made it through. And we've now had a star pass for Windsor, so your active jammer once more. I was going to say once more because, and I'll lead on to it in a sec, is Nasty. My apologies. Nasty took the star quite a few times yesterday.
Yes.
And I've just merged all the games into one big roller derby sausage. Like the games never ended. They're just one big thing.
So we're only just now going into jam 4 as we've got just over 5 minutes gone on the clock. So 5 points for Royal Windsor, 10 for Battersea Power. And like you say, a clean game that we've had so far, but hopefully that announcer's curse isn't going to come around and bite us in the backside.
Well, it makes no odds to us who wins. We still get paid.
But do we?
No.
Van Husley and Fletcher jamming. And Fletcher out now for lead.
Yeah, Fletcher, one of the real standout jammers for Windsor yesterday. Hopefully, we will get to see some of Fletcher's amazing toe stop work up the inside, round the outside, however you like to see it. But they have got, and there we go.
Speaking of which,
toe stops of your dreams.
Beautifully done, calling it off from the floor. And Van Huslin's second jam, bringing nothing in that last pass. So Royal Windsor inching towards London's lead. So an 8 points to 10 points, a 2-point game.
I like the way you said that then. 8 points to 10 points, 2-point game.
There's a nice rhythm to it.
It was lovely. We could do this later, darling.
We're
on
just,
the beat.
Dancing.
8 points, 10 points to lead. We had a dance earlier, didn't we, James? In the lift, so no one could see because it was horrendous. Anyway, back to from horrendous dancing to beautiful roller derby.
Strahan and Head Casey jamming. Strahan picking up lead, and that's 100% so far, but we've got a power jam. As we were saying, there's been a relatively clean game. Jammer in the penalty box.
Here comes the dirt. There are signs up all over the venue encouraging people to wash their hands because skaters are dirty. Take from that what you will, kids.
Strahan picking up another 5-point pass. And we've got a pivot in the box as well, so track advantage to Battersea Power as the whistle goes. So it's going to be a power start here for London.
First power jam of the day, I believe it is Panda.
Let's see who we've got lining up. So it's a 4-on-3 pack, but we've got Jammer standing in the box, so there's only a handful of seconds left on the clock there.
Yeah, looks like we're just having the track repaired a little bit because safety is paramount.
Absolutely.
Look at that offense getting set up on the outside, allowing Beta Parker to have a bit of a run, but that Windsor defense, it might be small, but it is mighty. However, Beta Parker has made it through for lead And Head Casey's out of the box.
Yeah, there's only a
looking
few
to get through.
Only a few seconds there, straight up into the front of the pack, but that London stronghold, that lovely waterfalling wall at the front there, pack is toward the front there. Some of the skaters sort of stretching out between turns 3 and 4. Packs come back together now. Peter Parker
rallying up the bench as they skate past, getting a few cheers in their favour as they come round now looking to score.
So putting a good distance on that lead now. Head Casey had the helmet cover in hand, but it's back on head now. Peter Parker, pretty decent jam there for London. Oh, I apologise. It was the whistles from the other track confusing me.
Yeah, sorry. There are 2 tracks in here, as you well know if you've been following this weekend. There is 2 games going on simultaneously. So I believe we've got Dorset and Kent MRDA happening on the other track, and it's a very close game. So there's lots of people going whoop, whoop, yay, yay, and other such noises. James, make a noise. Okay, nice. But back on the track that matters, and that is the Roller Derby City track here with myself and Panda. Full complement of skaters, blockers, everyone else.
True. Patty Swift and Culverhouse jamming. First jam out for these jammers. Culverhouse going for the break down the inside line, but not managing to break through. Stronghold at the back from London Roller Girls. Patty Swift picking up lead. There was an out of play warning, I think, went up there. Did get almost recycled by Naz T. Did manage to hold it down though. Patty's back on a scoring pass now, but Culverhouse really struggling. Really trying to find a break, trying to get the shoulder in. Not getting any traction there in the pack at all. Oh,
yeah, that London defence is really quite formidable.
Yeah, I think this is where Royal Windsor now really realise they've got to fill the gaps, as it were, quite literally. But it's a 5-point pass on the board there for Patty Swift.
Yeah, Culverhouse really not having the best time in this jam, but showing absolutely no signs of slowing down or letting this London team defeat her.
Yeah, trying to get through, still complete that initial pass because we haven't managed to get there yet. And recycling right the way back. Swift was really pulling it right back there. And finally through, completing that initial pass. But we've got another 5-point pass on the board. Jam's called. Culverhouse probably pretty tired after that.
Yeah, but lovely 10-point jam there for London Roller Girls. And while they're in this momentous moment, I spoke to a couple of London Roller Girls just before this game, and they asked if they could give a big shout out to their A-team, London...
Brawling.
Oh God, I forgot what they were called then. Of course, London Brawling, who are off to Atlanta. Some of them are already there, probably enjoying some hummus in an Airbnb, having a lovely time. And they wanted to send all their love over to their A-team in Atlanta for playoffs. Playoffs in Atlanta.
Hopefully they got that message. Van Hustling and Fletcher jamming. Fletcher picked up lead, but having to be recycled pretty much all the way back behind the jammer line. And this pack now throwing some huge hits at the jammers. Oh, Van Hustling going for a break down the outside on the toe stops, but didn't manage to pull it off, and again having to recycle. Coming in very tight at the back of the pack there. Wants to be careful of that footwork and those hips.
Yeah, this corner that is just kind of out of sight for everybody. It's becoming a little bit of a danger zone for everybody. Don't go to the outside, it's not your friend.
Van Hustling now off track, back on track.
On track, off track, on track, and back with us.
It was a penalty called. I did wonder. So taking the seat now, and here's an opportunity for Who Dares Windsor to put some much needed points back on the board. It looks like we had a back block penalty. So it's going to be Fletcher now coming back through for that scoring pass, but not managing to really make much headway through the pack. As I said, it pretty much heads up right up to the front, looking for a break down the inside, calls it, and it looks like we may have had 2 or 3 on there. Oh, none. Oh, none. Oof.
So 34 playing, 17 minutes left to go in this first half of this 3rd/4th place game. So we could call this a bronze medal game, couldn't we?
We could.
I don't know if there are medals.
I've not seen any downstairs.
Ooh.
In the hall. So when we have the award ceremony later on, that'll be broadcasting. You'll be able to tune in and watch all your faves picking up the goodies.
Oh, I want to see the medals. It's for me. It's not a tournament unless I've took a picture of myself wearing a medal that I won't
Stealing
win.
somebody's medal. Van Hustling and Head Casey jamming no pack. Oh, the out of play warning goes up, sorry. And Head Casey free out in front to pick up lead jammer. Van Hustling struggling to find a break in the pack, but has now found a small line on the inside. Exploited to good use. Head Casey coming back around on that scoring pass.
Oh, lovely inside line there from Swift, trying to help the jammer Van Hustling get up that inside. But I think there's a penalty being assessed. Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
Low
Track
block.
track cut being given.
Oh. Now, I wonder if she actually realised there was a track cut there because the low block penalty was called, and I think she thought, well, I can just come back in here.
Everybody from Windsor becomes the bench coach, telling Head Casey to call it off. I think because this would be some great time for Windsor to get some advantageous play because there's a jammer in the box.
Absolutely. I mean, we had the power start before, or the power jam, in situ. Didn't manage to use it quite to their full advantage, but it looks as though this is going to be quite important for them now. They've got the pivot in the penalty box as well, so a smaller pack to contend with. Well, offensively, but defensively they've got London Brawling in full. London Brawling? That's because you said that now.
Oh, don't blame me,
Power. Battersea Power in full force on the track there.
Oh, but power, no, the other one. Not a power, the reverse of a power, a penalty. Asterix going to the box for a track cut, but now coming out of the box. We're going to come back to this.
Yes. So
I think this is because, Panda, sorry, I think Van Hustling was in the penalty box for 2 penalties, which means if the other jammer goes in, your time is reduced. Switcheroo, 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 everyone on the track.
Yeah. So we don't want jammerless play. There's no point in doing that. Van Hustling is back on track and has managed to pick up lead because their effectively start line was the penalty box. Asterix trying to find a break through the pack, not managing to find a line, doesn't have a helmet cover on. I don't know if she stashed it or passed it. Passed it. Naz T now your jammer for Windsor.
Oh, beautiful defense at the front there. Beautiful offense, sorry. I don't even think Windsor realised they were doing offense because they were holding Van Hustling and made a lovely gap there for the jammer to get through. Beautiful work there from Windsor. Didn't affect the scoreboard so much, but really great play, which, might come in to help, next time round.
So we're about halfway through the first half. Battersea Power 39 points, Royal Windsor with 11. Royal Windsor playing in the white and blue. London Roller Girls in their famed pink. 3-on-3 pack on the track. There's a blocker apiece in the penalty box. Strahan and Fletcher jamming.
What was I telling you about Fletcher's toe stop work earlier? Was a little bit denied just at the last second there, but her toe stop inside line work is just beautiful. But then so was that massive hit there from Swift to recycle Fletcher.
Yeah.
No toe stop for work. No toe stop for you today.
Trying to get on those lines, and I think in using the rope for a little bit of leverage on the outside and inside track lines, but not managing to. But just knocked to the infield. I think Fletcher's trying to absorb the hits at the same time as getting some decent footwork underway, but they're just too strong. Big hits at the front there, but not managing to keep Strahan down. Rosie Rocket Panthers are giving it a really good go, but Strahan now through and on scoring pass.
Oh, pretty easy ride around the danger zone just behind the screen here. Strahan getting through there almost unopposed. Everyone's out of the penalty box, which is wonderful to see. 44 taking on 11. Nice clear scoreboard. Always helpful for our tiny minds.
Fletcher looks like they're trying to complete a star pass there. Yes, Rosie Rocket Pants now has the helmet cover on. Strahan still in control of the jam here. Trying to make a break down the inside line, but calling it off. Taking hits there, and it was a 4-point pass. So we've got a 9-point jam there for Battersea Power. 48 on the board to Royal Windsor's 11. 12.5 minutes just gone.
Yeah, I don't think you would have just seen that, but there was a lot of high fives going on at the London Roller Girls bench that I can just see out the corner of my eye. Very pleased with that 9-point jam. Have a look, love. Look over the balcony.
We've got, I think the highest scoring jam, if I'm not mistaken, in this game so far has only been 10 points.
Oof.
But we had yesterday, when Windsor were playing Rebellion, we had some 35. We had a 35-point jam from, I think it was one of the Rebellion skaters, which was pretty phenomenal as well.
I think it's 37, 35. Let's go with 30. Let's say 36 then.
Go in the middle.
32 and a half.
But
No, it was a massive, massive jam, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
do you know what? This weekend, we haven't seen many of those big blowout jams, have we?
No. I think what you tend to find is when you've got such good defence, the packs, like I said before, they're not moving very far. They're not necessarily moving very fast. You've got an awful lot of action going on in such a small amount of space. And I think that does show strength in track awareness as well, because you've got to be really careful at that point of the multiplayer block penalties.
Indeed.
What are you giggling at?
I'm just laughing, sorry. I'm just high on life. Jeez.
Back on track now. Savage and Head Casey jamming. As you mentioned before, full force on the track from both of our teams.
Lovely defensive tripods from both squads at the front. Riley Cyrus, an absolute powerhouse of a blocker for Windsor, demanding that this tripod stays in place.
Yeah, consistently strong, I think, Riley Cyrus, holding down that front line as Savage is trying desperately to find a break, coming up against the back of Naz as well.
That reform from Windsor was led again by Riley, was just beautiful. Sometimes it's the really simple things, like being quick enough to know that you've got this isn't working, reform. It's just beautiful to watch.
Again, the walls, I think we're seeing very similar play now. I think the Royal Windsor have kind of caught on to what Battersea Power are trying to do on track here, holding up those tripods, like you say. They're waterfalling, they're making it really difficult for the jammers to get through. They're just trying to find a break with the shoulders, with the hips, with the booties, and not really managing to get through. But nice toe-stop work on the outside there from Savage.
It was, but it was just a bit too much on the inside, so track cut being delivered there. I could almost see it happening in slow motion. I was like, no, step backwards. But, I mean, tough, you're in the box. So that means Windsor with the advantageous slice of play now. Head Casey, your only jammer on track, no lead jammer at the moment.
Yep.
So they've got almost the rest of this jam to really make some action onto the scoreboard. I, for some reason, have become really lively and dancing around with my hands in the air.
But we haven't had, like you say, no lead's been assessed yet, so that means the initial pass isn't yet complete. So no points on the board, and we've still got just over 10 seconds left.
Yeah, so
I think we're going to struggle.
Yeah, London doing an absolutely great penalty kill there as Savage is now out of the box. It was almost like that power jam was like no drama.
So up against a strong wall now. Casey was just having a leisurely skate backwards there, thinking, I've only got a couple of seconds. What's the point?
We've got a lot more time to go. We've got to ride this pony for a long time. That's a weird analogy, but I'm going with it.
10.5 minutes on the clock. In this first period, Battersea Power versus Who Dares Windsor. 48 to Battersea Power, 11 to Who Dares Windsor. No movement on those scores for a little while.
But lots of movement within our, I don't know, I was going to segment this somehow. Lots of movement in roller skating, like, Cherry, just read the sponsors out. Roller Derby City are our fantastic track spot. I couldn't do a segue. Our fantastic track sponsor here today. Thank you very much for sponsoring this event, even though I couldn't segue you in, even though I really wanted to, because I've got one of your jumpers and it keeps me warm.
Thanks to them for providing all of the kit for the crew and everybody this weekend, and a lot of the uniforms as well. On track, we can see Patty Swift and Asterix jamming, both stuck pretty much a similar point. Now Patty Swift gone to the penalty box.
Like how you stroked your beard for that one. You're like,
I haven't got a beard, just put that out there.
Have one if you want, babe.
So
Swift going to the penalty box now, so we're going to have an LRG jammer and pivot penalty box palooza. Big hit at the front there onto Asterix, but Asterix really not having much fun with the 3 remaining LRG skaters.
So I was wondering if we were going to get any offence from the Royal Windsor blockers. I think she really needed that up at the front there to push it forward and try and create a gap.
Patty Swift back on the track now. Again, London with that fantastic penalty kill. Almost like power jams are nothing to them, nothing.
Gravy coming up at the front there to try and hold Patty Swift down. Oh, looking at doing a good job. We've still got no lead here, so we could be going for the full 2. No. Struggling there to get your jammers through. We haven't got a helmet cover on Asterix at the moment, so
Yeah,
unless she's just going to let the time run down, doesn't realise lead hasn't been assessed, and actually you are eligible for it if you've got your helmet cover on.
it looks like Nasty is in the position to go for the star pass, though. Nasty, your pivot star pass extraordinaire, and there's the star pass we were waiting for, but give it 2 seconds.
Yeah, too late.
Oh, hang on, though. It looks like we've got a penalty for Nasty. I think Bryn was shouting at her. Maybe he was just telling her off. Okay, let's have a look. So Nasty's gone back to the bench. And it's a track cut, but I think it's going to be not as the jammer, perhaps.
This is what we're going to figure out and just make sure that it... Oh, no, he did put his hand up to his head there, and that is a penalty gone down as jammer. So Fletcher is...
in the box,
yeah.
Serving time, do the crime, do the time. And Peter Parker is back on the track, jamming in pink for LRG, but that Windsor defence, led once more by Riley Cyrus, has steamed into town.
Jammer standing in the box now.
Look at that London offence coming in. Oh, that is the offence train again. You want to see if you are.
Oh, huge hit there. Goodness me, taking the jammer right off her feet. Riley Cyrus again, as we say, really coming into her own up at the front of the pack there. Lead jammer now been assessed to Peter Parker. Both of our jammers in the pack now. Scoring pass in situ here for London though. And a 5-point pass, lapping the opposing jammer on track. Riley Cyrus trying to keep tussling through the pack there, causing a little bit of drama. But going to take a seat in the penalty box.
Peter Parker coming through, slaloming her way through the pack there, almost uncontested, is what I'm after. Beautiful jamming from Peter.
So Asterix is now in the pack, but struggling to find a breakthrough. The scoreboard momentarily did say Fletcher on because that was the jammer that was lined up for the next jam, but it was Asterix starting from the penalty box from the previous jam.
Nice big jam there for LRG, 14 points, biggest jam point scoring.
I think Royal Windsor are losing a little bit of momentum now, and I think if they're not careful, the gameplay can start turning a little bit messy.
Yeah, we are in that weird time, 5 minutes before the half, where things can often get a little bit Savage Garden, is what I like to call it. That might make it makes no sense, but that's what I call it.
Fan hustling, jamming now for LRG, and a 5-point pass on the board.
I'm still thinking about Savage Garden. Let me get my head back into this. Riley Cyrus coming back up to the front to create the tripod that she's in charge of.
And it was a 4-on-3 pack there. Asterix standing in the box. I feel like I've just gone back in time a minute. She was in and then she was out and she's back in again.
Right, so let's have a look. So we've got Windsor standing, Windsor's jammer standing in the penalty box. So obviously just a few seconds left for them. One of Windsor's blockers sat down in the box too. All of LRG in attendance. So I think this is going to be quite a triumphant jam for LRG in pink. But Asterix straight out of the penalty box with so much gumption. But unfortunately, that LRG defence had quite a few things to say about it.
I think it's almost as if they knew she was coming without even looking. But Stratham already ahead now. Couple of laps on there with another 5-point pass. Fletcher heading up at the front of the pack. Are we going to potentially see a star pass here? Asterix looking like she's timing a little bit.
Yeah, we did see a very, literally fingers touching star pass. Didn't quite happen because London with the brilliant star pass. I'm going to have to think of a better word for what we call it, push the pivot. That's what I call it. Pushing the pivot away, disallowing the star pass to happen. Very great tactical moves.
It is, and I think that they're aware that this is happening as soon as they know who the jammer is. And to be fair, without the helmet cover on, Asterix is relatively identifiable because of the all the patterns and stickers on her helmet, but she's going back to the penalty box now. I think she's getting a little bit frustrated. I think that could be affecting gameplay here.
I would say that Windsor are ready for half-time in the nicest way, because yesterday when they played Rebellion, half-time really worked in their favour.
It really
did.
They
came out like, whoosh.
Yeah, let's see what difference it's going to make for them here now. Strahan on a 25-point jam, the highest of this game, just lapping the pack like it's a Sunday stroll. Coming through up against that wall of Windsor. Oh dear. Another 3 points on the board there. It's a 28-point jam. Taking London over the 100 mark to 104. No movement for Royal Windsor in quite some time. But I think you're right, Cherry, in saying that, you know, they're going to be looking forward to half-time because it made such a difference yesterday.
Definitely, that half-time was just phenomenal for them, and I would really love to see a closer score here today.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the end of Brit Champs for 2018, which means for a lot of these teams who will, I imagine, be joining us again next year for Brit Champs, this means that they can be using the footage, having a look at what they did, seeing what happened before, seeing what they can work on. So, yeah, there's no like let up or anything. You still want to go 100% in this game.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like we've got a timeout on track just now, and that's for Royal Windsor again. I think they're just having a moment to regroup just before we go into half-time as well.
Yeah, so London there with 28 points on the board in that jam. Definitely the highest scoring jam in this game. And also London, when I spoke to them earlier, not only wanted to send lots of love and kisses to their A team over in Atlanta, but also a big shout out to their B team, who is at training today in London. Doesn't sound quite as glamorous, but I'm sure they're still having a lovely time, and will probably go and eat like an avocado latte afterwards.
I think in the same respect, we probably should give a shout out to everybody in Windsor that's tuning in and watching us today, and everybody at home that's joining us. Thank you so much. Please use the hashtag #BritishChamps. Get in touch with us. We'll try and keep an eye out on the Twitter feed, and if we've got any exciting comments that we can read out, we will do.
Yeah, so put your best witty cap on and give us something to read.
Best witty cap or best witty cats, I think we'll appreciate either.
Whichever. Do what you want, live your best life.
Just shy of 3 minutes left on the clock, and we've got an official timeout now. And it looks as though this could just be while the track's being repaired.
Oh, the filthy skaters are back, causing damage to the track. 2 minutes and a bit to go in this first period of this game. Lots more games coming up this afternoon, Panda. So after this game, we also then have we go into the finals then. We have got the Tier 3 men's final. Tier 3, yeah, men's final. Is that? Yes. Then we have the Tier 3 women's final, and then we have the Tier 2 women's final. So we go final, 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 and then bedtime.
Oh, right, nice. Blah, blah, blah.
And may I just add, when we go into those final games, they are the only games that are being streamed, so no need to choose anymore. It's all evens again. You don't have to be like 69 in it, a bit of both. You just join us on one track.
Absolutely, and we're going to be available on the on-demand and live services via the red button on the BBC, so join in and watch us there. It's all very exciting now. Peter Parker on track, picking up lead jammer Asterix. Still sitting in the penalty box. I feel like I've said that a few times now, and I'm pretty gutted for her, really, to be honest. But she's had time to sit and regroup now, and trying to think about what's going to happen in probably the next couple of jams. I think for her it's going to be important to just finish a jam at the bench. But no, it's called off and she's standing in the penalty box. Oh no, sorry, whistles from the other track. Again, oh, Panda.
So Peter Parker is coming back around, making, almost easy work of all the Windsor blockers, but one more. That is Lovelock. Had a few things to say to Peter Parker, and that was a shoulder to the outside. And now they get to be recycled. Nice bit of defensive gameplay there for Windsor.
Lovelock having a good few games this weekend, showing strength in blocking up at the front of the pack there. Again, together with Riley Cyrus coming in and making a formidable wall, but taking out Lapsalis. My goodness, with a huge hit. It's taking a little while to get up, could have been winded. There we go, back into the pack now, and that's definitely called off.
Yeah. When everyone puts their hands up, it's called off.
I think I was too busy looking at the play and not the referees. My bad.
It's okay.
Minute and
at
a
least
half.
we don't have to do this on the Beeb.
No.
Because it's all, I was going to say normal games. It's just one game through your one set of eyeballs. No conflicting whistles.
No, and just the one set of ears that have to work effectively as it happens. But as you did mention before, we do have that final ongoing on for the Tier 3 men's, and that's the game that's currently underway with a 10-point differential between Bristol and Kent. We'll see how that works out. Back on track here though, Savage and Jamelia. Jamelia's first jam for Royal Windsor. I think having a little bit of fresh blood on track is good for them right now as we're about to go into the half-time period.
Lovely defence at the front there from Windsor, but that pack is going to need to be bridged out a little bit more as we come up to the apex. That is, oh, beautiful round the outside there for Savage. We just took a breath there to enjoy that side surfery.
She made it look so easy.
Oh, bloody skaters.
So coming now around, looking for a break down the inside, but straight into the back of that 3-wall. And Nasty holding the bridge down.
Gravy demanding that Savage do not pass.
The out of play
like
warning
she's
goes up.
a bit though. I don't think you should be enjoying it this much. Of course you should, especially if you're blocking like that.
So Nasty now has the helmet cover in hand because they were just like, just get it over. They found a perfect opportunity. Textbook star pass, nicely done.
Yeah, and beautiful work there from Nasty coming around the hips of Diarrhea. Beautiful bit of play there for Windsor. And perhaps, Panda, that was a little bit of a boost, a little morale boost that they would need. And fantastic for Windsor to take into the second half.
Yes. But some amazing things happened in half-time yesterday, as we've mentioned a couple of times already. Windsor come back, and they came back fighting. So we've seen a little tiny increase on the scoreboard there for Windsor, but I'm hoping that when they come back, they're going to really ramp it up.
Come back stronger.
Battersea Power, like we said, we've had a couple of higher scoring jams there toward the end of the first half. But overall, we've seen some good, strong defensive play from both teams. 125 on the board for Battersea Power, 13 on the board for Who Dares Windsor.
All right, lovely, and we will be back with you in about 14 minutes. Ta-ta.
Back to the British Roller Derby Championships Playoffs 2018. I'm Panda, and I'm here with the beautiful Fairy Cherry.
Hello, good afternoon, and we're being produced moderately well by James Brown. Thank you for being with us today, and thank you to you lovely people at home for joining us here on the Roller Derby City track, here for one of the last games in the non-final situation. So after this game, we've got a bit, something else will happen, and then we'll have 3 finals for you, starting at 1:30, 3 o'clock and 4:30. And it gives me great pleasure to say thank you to our sponsors this afternoon. We have Radar, who are sponsoring our MVP, which is exciting. We have Double Threat Skates. Thank you very much for doing your thing. Just One Body, sponsoring To The Track, and of course Roller Derby City, who I've got, as I said, a lovely jumper to keep me warm. Everyone took the mick out of me at half-time for saying that, so I'll say it again. I'm sure you've all got a tote bag, bobble hat, or bum bag at home with the Roller Derby City emblem proudly on it. Or maybe you officiated a game and have a t-shirt. Maybe your team is sponsored by them. The opportunities, my loves, are endless. Panda is looking at me going, stop talking, off you go.
No, I was just thinking of mentioning that they've actually sponsored all of our crew merch as well today.
Ooh.
So you can see our officials in the centre of the track there with their black
Hiya.
t-shirts on. How lovely. But yeah, we've also just got a little bit of time left on the clock to quickly mention the scores. So we're going into the next half with 125 on the board with Battersea Power, 13 on the board for Royal Windsor. Let's see what magic half-time has produced here for Royal Windsor. They had a really good pickup after yesterday's game.
Yeah, they really did. And we have got on the jam line Naz T and lead jammer straight away for Royal Windsor there. My apologies, the in-house scoreboard was showing the wrong lead, so I'm blaming technology, of course. But yeah, Panda, as you said, straight out of the blocks for Windsor. They really are a half-time magic oranges type of team.
Yeah, second half team, as we saw yesterday, they really improved their gameplay 200%, and now they've got off to a really good start. I think the momentum for them here is going to be really good. So one more point on the board there, but that's one more point than we've seen in quite well, obviously, than they have before. But they hadn't scored in quite a while toward the back end of the first half. So let's see if this momentum keeps them going. We've got a 4-on-3 pack advantage now as Fletcher's jamming and picking up lead.
Yeah, beautiful jamming there from Fletcher. Toe stop masterclass once more for your very eyes. And lovely Windsor defence at the front. Yeah, Windsor really making the most of that half time that they had just now.
It looks like Rosie standing in the box, so London going to be regaining their... Oh, I do apologise, it's not Rosie. Getting back on track now. Swift rejoining the pack. 4-on-4 pack now as Strahan is out. They had Star Stash. Fletcher calling it off.
And 5 points grabbed by Fletcher there. Oh no, so my apologies. 8 points grabbed there by Fletcher. As you were saying just a sec, Panda, 1 point was great for Windsor because it was showing that they had taken a bit of control of the game. 8 points to 0, so 9 points to 0 so far in this second half. Great work from Windsor, but Panda, can they keep it going?
They can, and you said that far more eloquently than I managed to. Just 2 and a bit minutes gone. Both of our jammers taking quite a step back there to get a run up on the pack. Looking for a break. Oh, is a penalty called on the outside? Yeah. Was there back block penalty on a jammer? Yeah. Head Casey taking a seat.
Oh, is this the end of the Windsor comeback? I hope not. But Savage is through for lead for London. 125 taking on 22 in this bronze medal style game. And we say style because I don't know if there's medals. But wear a medal in your heart.
You'll have the title.
And the bragging rights.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely work there from Savage up the inside. Calls it off. Freezing Head Casey in the penalty box. Very tactical play there for LRG.
So 130 to 22, 27 minutes left on the clock as we go into Jam 4. And it's a power start for LRG. Royal Windsor. Jammer standing in the box, so Head Casey will be joining the track very shortly. She looks like she's pretty ready to go. She might have asked how many seconds she's got. It's going to be a couple.
I like how you looked at your watch then to see how many seconds there were.
I don't know. A habit, I guess.
Is that when someone goes time? Look at your wrist.
Yeah.
Lovely defence from Windsor. I can't stop complimenting Windsor on their defence at the front, but unfortunately Beta Parker, well, fortunately for Windsor obviously, Beta Parker does make it through there while Head Casey, one more blocker to get round. That's Wu-Tang Jan at the front. Head Casey is through and Beta Parker is grabbing points, I do believe.
Head Casey now on a scoring pass though, through and at least past one of the blockers. Oh, beautifully done with a nice little step over the inside for a 4-point pass. Windsor definitely need this momentum, and it's been a really good start to the second half so far. Coming up against that wall now, struggling to find a break. They thought, well, the last pass was far too easy, so we're obviously going to give her a tough time here. But Royal Windsor holding Beta Parker down at the front. Very nicely done on that 2-wall.
Yeah, as you said, great play from Windsor, even with a power jam against them. Windsor, who are not lead, still scoring more points in this jam than London, and when you can get that type of statistic, it's always a good day.
It is absolutely huge hits coming from a jam, a bit of jammer on jammer action as they're coming together at the back of the pack there. 2 points, 2 points on the board there for Battersea Power, 3 points in that last pass, winning the jam there. Windsor 7-6. 136 on the board for Battersea Power, 29 on the board for Royal Windsor.
Yeah, beautiful work here from Windsor. And I think It's fair to say, Panda, I mean, we could see a lead change. Stranger things have happened. But I think it's fair to say here, for what Windsor will be looking for is just being able to deploy the tactics that they want, play some of the game their way, get themselves ready for next season. So even if Windsor don't get the win, although Nasty has just picked up the lead, they're going to be looking for getting the best out of the game that they can.
Absolutely, reducing that differential, and I think that's probably what's going to be important here for them. You know, if they take the lead, then fantastic. You know, we've got 25 minutes left. Anything can happen.
It sure can.
Nasty taking a break down the inside. Very nicely done for a 5-point pass.
Yeah, if you're going to have jammers like Nasty coming out and doing things like that, we may well see a lead change.
Some gorgeous footwork there coming around the outside, and it looks like forearms penalty was called. Nasty recycling. I think for a second there she might have thought that was the penalty called on her from the outside. Recycled and back through the pack for a 4-point pass. Nicely done.
Yeah, beautiful work there for Windsor. And talking about comebacks, if you happen to watch the WFTDA playoffs from a couple of weeks ago, who remembers that Crime City coming back after about an 80-point deficit and taking the lead?
It can happen.
It can happen.
Absolutely.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
So we've got team time out now.
Let's read some sponsors better than I did a minute ago.
Well, we're here on the Roller Derby City track sponsoring us this weekend. As you mentioned, our other track, the way we've got the Tier 3 men's going on at the moment, is the Just One Body track. Double Threat Skates, one of our sponsors, who we see around a lot in our roller derby tournaments, which is great. And Radar sponsoring our jam lines on both tracks today. We've also got plenty of people with the merch stands in-house as well. Ruby Fury is one that we've got listed online as one of our sponsors, so do go along and have a look. They've got some special limited edition leggings that they've made especially for this weekend. I've had a look at them on Facebook. They're very fancy.
And I believe if you go onto the BritChamps website, you can get a discount on Ruby Fury as well. So not only will you have Superfly leggings, you'll have more money in your purse.
Absolutely, or your bum bag if it's
or
roller
your bum
derby.
bag that you purchased from Roller Derby City. I don't have a bum bag because I just
You're
can't.
just not cool.
I can't pull it off. I'm not cool. If anyone's ever met me, or is even listening to my voice right now, will know that I'm the least cool person in the world.
Back on track, and my goodness, lead jammer straight off the bat there for Fletcher.
Have I ever mentioned Fletcher's toast tops?
I think you might have said something about it in the last jam, but since you pointed them out,
Drink them in.
very nicely done. Some beautiful work on the outside. London have not managed to contain that effort through the outside lines there. Fletcher's really worked hard to find this break, but taking a tumble on the inside now, she's going to need a little bit of help from her teammates. There you go. Nicely done for a 5-point pass.
Yeah, 10 points from Fletcher already in this jam. Windsor, you are the halftime team of the dream. Halftime dream team, let's call them that.
I think if we're talking about tournament comebacks from half-time, I think they're going to be up there. Because it's been, 2 for 2. And they had a great game yesterday. I mean, they fought so hard. You know, the score being the way it was, you wouldn't have expected it from the actual gameplay that you were seeing on track here. But looking at this now, we've had no movement for Battersea Power for a couple of jams. That was a 10-point jam there for Royal Windsor. So they're on 48 now to London's lead of 136. 22.5 minutes left on the clock. Savage taking a run up into the pack. Head Casey held back toward the outfield now, knocked out and recycling. Going for the toe-stops there, trying to take a leaf out of Fletcher's boot, but not quite managing to pull it off. That doesn't mean she's not capable, though. She's coming down the inside, but Savage has picked up lead jammer, and it looks like a direction of gameplay penalty has been called for Rosie Rocket Pants. Oh, Savage. She got up, so the cut was...
Cut has been awarded, given to Savage. So London, Head Casey, my apologies. So Savage is your active and only jammer on the track. Backbot being awarded to Swift. Again, a little bit of confusion to who that penalty was given to from our point of view.
So a 5-point pass on the board now for Savage. And only a small pack on track. But there you go, we've got full force now in blocker terms for Royal Windsor. Holding that pack pretty stationary as we come through.
Bench just shouting, call it, because Head Casey is stood in the box.
She's
But
back.
unfortunately, Savage didn't notice, and Head Casey has been released. She is free to run wild and be a jammer once more. If the bench manager says so. I mean, I'm not in charge.
So we have, yeah, if it would have been a couple of seconds earlier, it would have been a power start once again for London. But thankfully,
No
for
biscuit.
Windsor, yeah, they realised too late. So they'll be like, yes, we'll get the jammers out, get everybody back on track. The London Roller Girls minus the pivot at the minute. But that doesn't tend to cause them too much trouble. They've got strength in all of their blockers, regardless of whether they're playing in the pivot position or not. Patty Swift and Naz T jamming.
Naz T, you're like pivot to jammer swapperoo, doing an absolutely brilliant job at this afternoon. In fact, all tournament. If you watch Windsor's games, oosh, you will know that Naz T is a real double threat.
Yes,
Like
and
double
proving
threat.
your point there with a 5-point pass lap on track. This pack's starting to move at a pace now, and we had a little bit of a break up of the walls there from the London Roller Girls, and it sort of led to Windsor's advantage a little bit. As soon as they're stretching those walls out, sometimes if the pack's moving too fast, it can get a little bit messy. But Patty Swift now back in the pack, scoring points. Did we have a couple? One on the board.
There you go. So 146 taken on 55. Just under 20 minutes left to go in this second half of this exciting bronze medal game here at the British Championships 2018 here in beautiful Stoke.
Lovely sunny Stoke.
The men's game over on the other track is in the dying seconds, and there is a lot of whooping and cheering to be had. So in about 1 minute, everything's going to get a little bit quieter and less whistling.
Yeah, I'm sure you can hear that through the microphones, and that's the end of that game. But back on track here, we've got Strahan and Fletcher jamming. No lead awarded yet. Fletcher trying to find a break up at the front on the outside, but not to the outfield behind Hudson coming right back now.
Oh, beautiful work there from Fletcher around the outside, staying on track. Riley Cyrus, the absolute pivot masterclass at the front. Fletcher, with 40 seconds depleted, grabs lead from the jaws of LRG and is now your active and only jammer on the track as Strahan is in the penalty box for a track cut. Fletcher with those magic toe stops, what will you be able to make out of this jam? I asked you, Panda, then, as if you were Fletcher.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not.
Channel them.
I can think, all right, let me see how we're going to work this now. Fletcher is pushing forward, picking up that 5 points. This pack, like I mentioned in the previous jam, it's spreading out and it's starting to break apart a little bit. And this is where London Roller Girls need to keep an eye on their walls, I think. Just because this Royal Windsor have really started to exploit any of the holes that they're managing to find, and Fletcher does such a good job with such a small amount of space.
Yeah, I mean, this, should we call it a comeback? But this score is pretty tasty for Windsor. As I said, they've literally got nothing to lose in this game. This is the last game of the tournament for both teams. So you might as well, I'm not saying you didn't before, but give it a bloody good shot.
Nasty jamming for Windsor, picks up lead, but not to the infield, so having to recycle as Strahan is back on track and skating straight ahead, no contention on the outside there.
Yeah, lovely work there from London. Are we going to see London, not quite the comeback kid, because they don't need to be, but they do potentially need to stretch his lead out a little bit more, because Windsor are looking pretty fine.
Yeah, we've seen a real turnaround. So full force back on the track now. As we're just taking a minute to regroup. Yeah, it looks like everybody's descending.
And there's big cheers on the just one body track, as I think Kent have beaten Bristol. Well done to them.
Savage and Head Casey jamming.
Head Casey taking like a prayer down to the floor. Recycled to the back of the pack, gives it another shot. Riley Cyrus. I mean, I think if I was jamming, I would want Riley Cyrus to be on the track as well, because they are doing an excellent job as pivot extraordinaire.
I agree. We've seen some really good strength in gameplay there. Windsor holding up some incredibly good walls at the front of the pack there. And to Casey's advantage, really, managing to break through the pack, but to no avail with the call off there. London in control.
Yeah, Savage noticing that the jammer was coming up, so tap of the hips calls it off. 2 points, so we now see 148 to London, 60 to Windsor. 15 minutes left to go in this second half. Lots of whooping and cheering on the other track, but soon the whooping and cheering will be for us. As in for this game, not for you and I.
Oh, why not?
Because no one loves us.
That's not true.
I know.
Back on track, Patty Swift and Asterix jamming. We'll just gloss over that bit. As we come down now, Lovelock holding a nice strong wall up at the front there, as Asterix is really struggling around the back, but nice bit of backward skating from Patty Swift up at the front, bit of pivoting round, picking up lead.
And it is a power jam situation for Patty Swift. Not seeing Patty doing as much jamming in this game as we did yesterday, so they're going to be so tough to have a power jam to really grab some more points for LRG. And look at that offense train swooping in, but then look at that defense buffer. Shall we keep the train thing going for Windsor?
Bit of tussling down in the corner there in turn 3, but Patty Swift calling the jam.
You didn't make a train analogy.
Sorry.
Just left it, just gone on strike.
Toot toot.
Nice, I like it. So we have London starting this jam in a power jam situation. 14 minutes left to go in this first half. 152 taking on 60. I just bit my tongue. That was really weird.
You're just a hot mess this morning, huh?
Thanks, mate. I've been called worse.
Van Hustling and Asterix jamming now. Wow, fast-paced jam there. Asterix really turning it around, coming back out, firing straight through the pack. But this pack now moving really quickly. And this is where we've seen the pack start to fall apart, when they get really fast. But giving the jammers some difficulty, making them work hard to get through, to skate down, picking up any points there.
Just one for Windsor. Oh, hang on, I can't see the ref's hand.
Yeah, 1 for Windsor, and I think we had 2 on the board there for Battersea Power. So it didn't quite, it didn't quite work too well there for Asterix. I think she was hoping she would have managed to call it off quick enough, but not quite.
Also for Asterix, penalty trouble, as they have currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 penalties on the penalty board. The only other skater that's anywhere near that is Rosie with 4, and then over on LRG, Swift with 4 as well, but everyone else in the 1s and 2s or 0s.
Excellent. So if you can keep it low, then, or none at all, even better. Strahan and Naz-T jamming. A little bit of confusion there. Did we have a lead call? We had a lead call and then a cut penalty. So we're going to be going to the full 2 minutes, because it doesn't look like lead did remain open. It was called. So Naz-T now jamming, trying to break way through the front of the pack. Strahan had got lead, but is now in the penalty box. Nice power jam situation here for Royal Windsor. Oh, but a cut track. We're going to see a switcheroo in the penalty box. That looked like the larger proportion of the Sats penalty time was gone, so it's probably going to be close to 20 seconds.
Little LRG pile up there, as we've got one of the skaters popping off to the penalty box, joining, well, not joining now because the penalty box is empty. London making the most of the kind of advantageous situation that they've been in, but Naz-T has broken on through and grabbed 4 points whilst doing so.
Absolutely. Super. Pack again really picking up pace, making the jammers work for it. Riley Cyrus going in for the shoulder check, but didn't manage to lay it down on Strahan, who's out ahead of the pack now with a 5-point pass on the board. Naz-T coming back around to recycle behind the pack. still that lap behind, but looking to break through now. No pack call goes up, no disengagement at the back of the pack there. So out of play penalty is called from Sven in the middle. No pack again. You pretty much just need to disengage as soon as you hear that warning. And that's where the penalties come into force. The language in the rules is immediately.
Immediately. Like when I need my dinner.
Immediately. Yeah.
Both jammers putting up some points though on the scoreboard immediately for us. So we had 9 in that jam versus 8 for Windsor. 163 for LRG, but 69 for Windsor. And we are in a timeout, official review situation.
Oh.
So through the power of technology, we will find out what that official review is about quite soon. James, it's your moment to shine, to bring us the official review. But I can tell you again about our fantastic sponsors while you soak in those penalties that we told you about earlier. So our wonderful sponsors, as you must well know by now, are the wonderful Radar, Wheels and such, and they will be sponsoring our MVP as well as the jam line. The MVP, of course, gets to take the jam line home with them, puts it on their mantelpiece, takes selfies by it and puts pictures of the cats on it. Some of that is incorrect. Double threat skates, choose which bits you prefer. Double threat skates, London's brick and mortar shop and online, Supremos, ran by about 5,000 members of London Roller Girls. If you ever see their Instagram, they're all in there having a lovely time looking at tote bags and wheels. Just One Body, who will give you apparently the Fingers of Doom massage is what apparently it's been called. Check them out online, and also they do seem to be at a lot more roller derby events now, so if you need a good rub between games, check them out.
I'm glad you said between games then.
Between jams. 30 seconds, rub me quickly. And of course Roller Derby City are wonderful sponsors of this track here. Other partners of course include, I'm just stretching this out now because I have so much time. We also have our wonderful partners, Capital Badges, Events Medical Services and Ruby Fury. Panda, speak, say to the people from my point.
Oh, sorry, I was just having a little moment there in tears, Terry. My goodness. So, looking back at the action on the track now, we've got a 96, I apologise,
we can't do this on the beat,
point game. No, we've got to get it all out of our systems now.
Whoosh.
96-point game. 69 on the board for Royal Windsor, 163 for Battersea Power. If my maths is incorrect, I'm sure that somebody will tell me off online somewhere. We've got, oh, Snuggins is shaking her phone at us to tell us that we got mail.
Hang on, James has got to listen to it first and then we can report it back to you. I could do some more sponsor reads, but I think it's best
I think you've exhausted them by now. You've gone through them all.
I could do the in-house
in
ones
spectacular
as well.
fashion. Like
Grunge Monkey, like Roller Dirty Soaps, like Scully Bunting, and of course like Dirty Jeans. Sunglasses already on my head because they're good and I like them, and they come in many colours.
And they are pretty beautiful. Nice. I like the rainbow ones.
Yeah.
And they're really pretty.
And I know them, so I get a discount, but only if I get the sunglasses out of someone's car.
So we're just going to get the information from the official review. Cherry's going to feed that back to you.
Okay, so London are doing an official review as well, I understand. So we've had one official review and now London are having theirs. James is just getting some more information for us. Oh, Cherry, put the sponsor reads down. You've done them. There's no more left to say.
So we'll just have a moment to quickly regroup and figure out what is going on down there. So as we are in the second half, neither of the teams is gonna. They're both using their official reviews.
Okay, so what happened then is, Windsor wanted to call a back block penalty onto one of the pink players, but the referees deemed that it was legal contact. So now LRG are kind of like counteracting that with an official review, and we are waiting for that information. We do have one of LRG in the penalty box, but that is nothing to do with the official review. All right then, so LRG's official review was not to do with the official review that Windsor had on them. They were looking for 1 point that they had said that the jammer had gotten. The officials said no, they have not. So both teams lose their official review, do the drop spider hand signal. Official reviews are in the recycling bin.
Well, my goodness, there was a lot of information going on there.
Sorry, that's a lot of my voice as well.
It was quite confusing, I think, for a little bit, but I'm glad we've got it sorted now. That's what we've got so many officials for, and they all do a fantastic job. So back on track, Savage is the jammer for LRG. Holding down those lines, Windsor doing a cracking job at the back there. Savage coming through, getting a booty block there from Lovelock. And Gravy coming in for the booty block as well, but star pass to Riley Cyrus. I think it's the first time we've seen Riley Cyrus taking on that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Riley has been like the pivot. I don't even want to say pivot and waiting, because that makes it sound like they've been waiting to do a star pass, because their pivoting is beyond amazing by itself. But yes, first time I've seen star cover stripe. But London is saying, look, love, it might be your first time of having the star pass, but you're not having it.
But it is a power jam here for Royal Windsor as well. So the, Jammer's standing in the box, so they've got less than 10 seconds on the clock. Can Riley Cyrus make any dent in this particular pass?
Lovely offensive swoop in there from Gravy, but that London defence is quite formidable. But oosh, Panda, nice. What just happened?
Beautiful bit of footwork there from Riley Cyrus on the outside of the pack. Straight through, and a bit of backwards skating out, making it look super easy. I think we had a forearms penalty called there. I was on one of the blockers, so I thought, nah, not a jammer.
So lovely big scoring pass there for Riley of Windsor. 14 points to 4 for London. So 83 Windsor, 167 Battersea Power. 9 minutes left to go in this game. And it has been a really tasty game, folks. What do we think?
Yeah, I totally agree. Really nice action in the second half. We've seen a bit of a change up in gameplay, but I think that always happens after half time anyway. One of the highest scoring jams there from Who Dares Windsor. Patty Swift taking on Fletcher. Fletcher going for the toe-stops down the outside, but knocked to the outfield. A 4-on-2 pack advantage for Royal Windsor now. LRG with 2 in the box, losing the pivot as well. Oh, nice footwork there from Fletcher, as we've seen so much of this weekend. Real standout jammer, I think, for me, for Royal Windsor.
Oh, for definite. Loving their work. But then I'm also loving Savage's work. I'm also loving, you know, Van Husling's work. I'm loving Asterix's work. I'm just loving it. Loving it, loving it.
Loving it like that.
Yeah. I'm so cool. Remember earlier when I said I was cool?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Just shy of 8 minutes left on the clock. 167 plays, 87. Which means we're in an 80-point game at the moment, which that differential is going down. As we go into jam number 17 of this half. Got full fours on the track from both of the teams. Van Hustling and Naz T jamming. Naz T going for a break down the inside line, but Van Hustling straight out of the front there. No contention down the inside. Picking up lead. Naz T is out. Both of our jammers on scoring passes now. Van Hustling, is it going to be a hit it and quit it jam? Yes, it is.
Beautiful offense there from London. Hopefully you guys at home managed to see that. I just love, as I said before, the simple movements that really have a great effect on the game. 1 or 2 skaters just plug in that gap so the jammer can come up easily. Oh, could be a coach with this fountain of knowledge.
You put it to good use in your announcing anyway. So.
I was going to do a really selfish segue then, but I'm going to leave it because I'm professional.
Riley Cyrus is sitting in the penalty box. So it's a 4-on-3 pack advantage here for Battersea Power. Straight hem and head KC jamming. Pack hasn't moved very far, very much at all. Just now looking at, kind of keeping that time down a little bit. A few hard hits up at the front there.
Oh, loving it. Look at that massive powerhouse of some blocking there from number 411. I can't find my screen. That is Demolition. Sorry, I think they've got a different number on their shirt. My apologies.
Strahan through now on another scoring pass, but coming up against the back of Frost. And Riley Cyrus back at the front of the pack now, assuming the position. Nicely done, a bit of recycling. The pack up at the front of the pack there, spread again. They've got to be careful they're not picking up any out of play penalties. Head Casey going in for the star pass. Riley Cyrus picking that up again. Not managing to complete it.
Demolition once more being an absolute wrecking ball of a blocker, denying that star pass, doing the pivot push and bringing it in, kids. Really denying that star pass to happen. Wonderful work from Demolition.
And Head Casey out at the back there. The helmet covers back on as Riley Cyrus took a hit to the infield. I think they had a good opportunity there, but it was sadly missed. Head Casey through now is going to be on a scoring pass, but I think it's probably going to be denied by Strahan, calling it off from the floor after that hit there from Lovelock.
A big scoring jam there for Battersea Power, 15 points picked up. So we now see, ready for some maths everybody, 187 taking out 87. Panda, what is it?
It's a 100-point game.
Whoop, whoop. Thought you were going to leave me hanging then.
No, I just like the look on your face, giving you the little pause there. She's like, oh God, she's going to do it. No, she's not. No, she isn't. Oh, yes, she is.
Thanks, love. Keeping me in a state of panic.
So, Royal Windsor using their last time out now. And Battersea Power have still got 2 on the clock, but we might not even see them use them at this point. We've got just over 5 minutes left. As we said, it's a 100-point game. Royal Windsor 87, London Roller Girls 187.
Excuse me. And after this game, you can join us at 1:30 for the T3 final of men's, which is Bristol versus the winner of Game 7, who I don't have that information in front of me. Oh, North Wales. Yes, so they will be, correct me if I'm wrong, this will be the first men's game on the TV on the BBC.
Yeah, we're all nodding. I think we think
so
we're right. Yeah.
Bristol and North Wales, I'm going to say they're probably quite local rivals as well, geographically. They're near each other. I've gone on the motorway. So that's going to be cracking.
Savage and Fletcher jamming, but Fletcher picking up lead very quickly out of the pack there. 5 minutes left, but it's a cut track penalty for Fletcher, who's decided not to carry on the direction she was going, but to go all the way back around. Fletcher calling it off with a 3-point pass on the board.
Yeah, Savage hasn't even sat down in the penalty box yet, Panda. So clever work there from Fletcher, because unless anything crazy happens, that means that Savage will have to sit down for the full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 30 seconds.
Yes. That was the faster version, I think, though.
I know, right?
So, full force on the track from the pack. We'll see what difference that's going to make now for Naz T jamming for Windsor. She's going to need a bit of offense to really push this forward.
Beautiful defense there from Wu-Tang Jan at the front, Wu-Tang Jam, sorry, at the front of the pack,
nice.
At the back of the pack, now back to the front of the pack. But Nasty does get through for lead. Very popular with the Windsor contingency here this morning.
Yeah, here you go, coming through on a scoring pass now. Wu-Tang Jam has got it down already at the front of the pack once again, going straight in with the booty blocking. Coming through, Naz T is not alone in the pack now. Savage giving the little shoulder wiggle as she comes back on track straight into the back of that blue and white wall. Looking for a break down the inside. Nicely done on the toe stops.
Is Naz T going to be able to grab a couple of points as they come round? Almost looks like either no one realises that they're there or LRG want to run the jam.
Savage.
But Naz T's lead, that's why.
Yeah, absolutely. Got control of this jam. And Savage was knocked to the outfield and having to recycle at the back now. Naz T is recycling once again, but they have the advantage here of being a little bit ahead and having the points. But there you go. I wondered if it was going to be a call-off a little bit sooner, but no, stretched it. But it was a 4-point pass. Oh, so close.
They're in the ice cream situation, 99. Playing 187. So I don't think we've had a situation yet in this game where London have been a full 100 points ahead. I think Windsor have just been chipping at their heels.
Only that minute that we had like just a couple of jams ago.
Yeah, but I forgot about that
But
one.
no more than 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked out the window while that jam was happening, sorry. Forgotten. There isn't even a window in here, so that's a lie.
Well, 2.5 minutes left on the period clock now. And some furious action going on track. Both of our jammers really pushing, trying desperately to break through. Royal Windsor having a bit of a wave up at the back of the pack there.
But Windsor have got the formidable force of Riley and Hips and Gravy, at the front of the pack. I'm always thinking about food. Really trying to hold off Swift, but it was denied.
So we had a high block penalty there. It's been called from the pack, but Head Casey's still struggling to make the way through. Breaking through the front of the pack has been really difficult against these Battersea Power walls. Patty Swift looking good up at the front of the pack there for a 5-point pass. Just a little bit of a hop and a skip and a jump, and she's out.
Head Casey desperately trying to use that Windsor toe stop power to get through, but that beautiful wall of LRG is in the denial status. As Patty Swift makes it look pretty easy as they skated on by.
Gravy didn't manage to lay the hit down just as they went in a little bit too light. Round the back there, and we see Riley Cyrus picking up the star pass once again. And a back block penalty.
Oh, Patty Swift not going to be too chuffed with that.
Riley Cyrus has got just half a minute on the jam clock and just over a minute on the period clock. And it is almost back up to a 100-point game. It's a 98-point game as it stands at the minute. That differential is going to be the thing that they're really going to be looking to close up at this point now.
Yeah, they are indeed. As I said, this game very much, yes, the bronze medal game, but the game for people to take away for next year's Brit Champs training montage. Da, 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 da.
Nicely done there. Breaking over the 100-point mark. 4 points in that last jam for Riley Cyrus. 103 plays 197.
Do we have time for one more jam? The jam refs are doing a dance. What does that mean, Panda? What are they signalling to us? Just that they're having fun?
They could be. They could well be. I think if they're going to let the full 30 seconds, right, no, we're going to go straight into the next jam now. It's going to be the last one of the game. Period clock, 3, 2, 1. Period clock has expired. Slow jam to start, the last jam of the game.
Oh, lovely defense coming in there. Lovely offense, coming in there for LRG. Both jammers really not having the best time.
No surprise that Royal Windsor have fielded Fletcher for this jam, but split pack almost up at the front here.
Beautiful
Fletcher's
defense.
Struggling. Yeah, Fletcher's really struggling against that defense. No, bit of footwork on the inside. Can she stay on a toe stop? Could. Yes, is she through picking up lead? Just one more skater to contend with up at the front. Yes, Fletcher picking up lead jam for the last jam of the game here for Royal Windsor.
Lots of applause for Fletcher and Windsor in the crowd as well. Not sure if they're Windsor fans or just kind of rooting for the underdog. Either way, it's lovely to hear.
It is, and it's nice that you've got people that have come back over from the other track just to watch the remaining few jams of this game. Fletcher knocked to the infield behind Wu-Tang Jam. Wu-Tang Jam has had it out for Fletcher, I think, today.
Yeah, let's have a scrap in the car park afterwards.
And called it off. It makes no difference to the outcome, but the scores unofficially 106 to 197, so managing to decrease that differential just a little bit.
Yeah, beautiful work from both teams here. The last game for both of them in this fantastic Brit Champs tournament. And that it was your bronze medal game for the Tier 2 women's, I believe it is.
Absolutely. So the next game that you've got here on the Roller Derby City track at 1:30, also available on your BBC Interactive Services, is the Tier 3 men's final. And that's going to be at 1:30. Over on the Just One Body track now, we've got the Tier 3 women's 3rd, 4th place.
That looks like that is Nottingham, and I can't see who the other team is, unfortunately.
All the information will be available online if it's not up to date with us, because we don't have good enough eyes.
but that is your final score has been called. So Windsor 106 points, Battersea Power from London Roller Girls 197 points. Fantastic game here on the Roller Derby City track. Thank you for joining us. It has been my absolute pleasure to bring this game to you. I have been very Cherry.
And I'm Pandemonium, and we will be very happy to see you again on the BBC later on today.
Take care now.
Bye.
Bye.